Yes, this is much clear. Hey, we are live. I'm going to count down again because it's a really cool countdown. By the way, if you like that countdown, it was created by the person who was in Dollywood right now, Daniel Kaplan. How you doing again, Daniel?
I'm doing just fine. Hopefully, this will work a little smoother.
Hopefully so. So we have switched from Dollywood's Wi-Fi. As wonderful as the place is, they probably can't handle 15,000 people all streaming at once. So we're now on our cell signal. We've got a little finger in the upper right corner that really adds to the color of the place. Let's start all over. How you doing, Daniel?
I'm doing just fine. I'm here at the Flower and Food Festival at Dollywood, which just began today.
Your finger is in the upper right of the frame. If you're able to remove it, that's better. So is
Oh,
this
I'm
the?
sorry.
It's better
I
now.
just
So
wanted to add a little character. It's my own little personal touch.
literally. So what are we looking at now?
This is a floral display that is actually in honor of Dolly's mother, who had sewed her that coat of many colors many years ago that inspired that song. And as I was saying in the other, as I was saying before, the displays here are really quite special because these are mosaic displays. They're not a single bush or something like that. They're training or trimming into different shapes. These are actually made up of individual plants that they put together like a mosaic.
And they
So
look
really quite
really
impressive.
good. If you're still earlier in our last stream, just before we lost you, there was a butterfly. Someone wanted to see it again. Is that still around?
Oh yeah, I can go back.
Yeah,
Hold
let's
on,
do
it's
that.
actually right behind me. This one right here, maybe.
Probably. And
Yeah,
Tony Bet.
there's quite a lot of butterflies around Dollywood. There's also a floral butterfly in the front with yellow flowers. So
And
the nice thing about a lot of these displays is that they're actually all they all make sense in terms of being about animals around the Smoky Mountains. So it's not like a lot of random items. These are all things that fit the theme of the park, fit Dolly's life, fit Tennessee. So that's really cool as well.
And the Flower and Food Festival, presented by Covenant Health, started
That's
today
right.
and goes through June 7th. So you're there on the first day of it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the first day. Now this year they really expanded it a lot because they added a lot more entertainment. So, for example, today there was about 8 different musical acts that I could have seen. A lot. You can literally spend the whole day in different shows.
It's perhaps unexpected that Dollywood would focus on music.
I know, right? I'm surprised. Around the park, you'll see these little displays like this one right here with quotes from Dolly and little gardening tools and things like this. They're all around the park with little proverbs and different things that she said. And of course, it is the food festival as well. So you'll find carts such as this one over here. This one has lobster rolls, spinach and artichoke dip. They have a very great deal, which is a lanyard, which is not abnormal. You know, a lot of parks do, but their lanyard is only about $27 for 5 different food items, which basically means it's like $5 for each item, which is a pretty good deal, honestly, for a theme park. So.
As I'm looking here, what is the mask requirement at Dollywood? Because I think I like it.
The mask requirement is if you're in a queue and if you're in an indoor building or if you are not able to be 6 feet apart from somebody, then you're supposed to wear a mask. That is the law.
Otherwise, you don't have to. So if you're walking around here, as long as it's not too crowded, you're free to not wear a mask.
Right. It's kind of similar to, Disney recently has started to allow it for photos and things like that. It's a little bit more at your discretion as to, keep that 6 feet apart or, wear a mask when it's a more crowded area. Even so, you will find a lot of people are still wearing them pretty much all the time.
Right. You can see that. And what's the weather like in Pigeon Forge today?
It's a little nippy. It's not quite summer, obviously. So, it actually it goes and it comes. I know a couple of days before we got here, it was a lot warmer. Today it was down in the 40s, but it went up to like the 60s. So, and here you
And
can see some raccoons. Like I said, the animal uh, depicted in the displays are all native to the area, so they all fit in really well with the park.
and I know we have a lot of people here who haven't been to Dollywood, so maybe you can talk about some of the attractions as you walk around too. Like, what was that in the background of the raccoons?
Oh yeah, sure. That is Lightning Rod, which is one of their premier roller coasters designed by Rocky Mountain Construction. Considered by many one of the better roller coasters in the country. It's quite a spectacular ride. Um, And then right here, we actually have the Tennessee Mountain Home, which is a replica of the house where Dolly grew up. So you can see that. And you can see also those flower displays that are part of the flower and food festival. They have these all over the park, which really adds a lot of color. Really fun. And you can even hear maybe one of the bands going on in the background. There's just music everywhere, which again fits Dolly, of course. And they're really bringing a lot more of them out into the. I don't want to say like out into the walkways, but they're moving a lot of them out of some of the show theaters, and I don't think it's just because of trying to keep people out outside of indoor facilities, but they're also trying to get the music out into the park so everyone can really enjoy it. And it really does work well. Like just walking around the park today, I heard so many different groups, and it really just added a lot of atmosphere. Here we have some turtles.
Native Tennessee turtles, apparently.
Let's see. It actually has a little fun fact here, right?
Wow. In fact,
Oh,
I'll
these
determine
are
if it's
home
fun.
to hundreds of turtles.
That was fun.
And then this is their time clock, which actually counts down time and days and months. Look at that frog out there on the other side of the bank there. It's
Cool.
cute. And then on the other side, you can see some bears, because of course they have to have bears here in the Smoky Mountains.
So you're in the Smoky Mountains. Is Dollywood technically like in the Smoky Mountains?
It really is. I mean, it's not like up in the mountains, but it's right at the foothills of the mountains. So, literally, Smoky Mountain National Park is only minutes away. So, it's very easy if you're going to plan a trip up here to spend a few days in Dollywood, spend a few days in the Smoky Mountain National Park. And Smoky National Park is a treasure in of itself. It's a free national park to visit, so you can make yourself a very economical vacation and have plenty to do for a few days if you like to go hiking and exploring nature. And even if you don't, just the drive is very pleasant. There's driving trails like Kate's Cove and Roaring Fork, which might sound familiar.
So for those of us who visit Disney World, where the biggest hill is an anthill, what's it like to walk around Dollywood?
Yeah, it's definitely not Orlando Park. You will traverse. In fact, there are some areas. I'm actually near one right now that are steep enough that you can't really take them up on an ECV. You can see one right back there, that curvy path. They actually have to have a warning sign because it's not the best to take it on an ECV. Not that I don't see people do it sometimes, but
yeah, I've walked around Dollywood several times. It's a workout. Be ready.
it is
Up
a
and
workout,
down.
and they actually have like a whole workout trail planned for you, and it only makes sense with the way that the park is designed.
Oh, that's cool.
Here's another great little quote from Dolly. The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain.
She is officially the national treasure of America now, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, I love just the honest truth about something like that. She's very good at being able to distill a thought that you want to put on a pillow. I don't know. That's the only way I can put it.
Pillow thoughts. We have a
Like
question
the
real
ultimate
quick.
person at that. What was that?
We have a question. Does Dolly make scheduled appearances?
Dolly does come to the park from time to time, but it's not like it's the only time that I would say that she tends to come is the opening weekend. It's very common for her to be here, so that's your best bet if you wanted to try to come and see her. Other than that, it's kind of like sporadic.
What are the months that this is usually open, Dollywood?
Dollywood is usually open from March to December. And so most of the year, and even Tennessee does have a pretty mild winter. So even in December, it can be pretty pleasant. I've been here around Christmas time, and it's still warm enough that you can go on the rides and things like that. Not the water rides, but most of the rides. And their Christmas event is absolutely spectacular. They've won the best Christmas event several times. They really do a phenomenal job.
And Dollywood is in Pigeon Forge, which, much like has grown up around Disney World, has its own little touristy district with so many of the traditional touristy things. And then it's also just across the way from Gatlinburg, which is its own tourist destination. So there's a ton to do here, plus the Smoky Mountains, if you make your way up to Dollywood.
Absolutely.
We have another question. What are the park hours?
They vary just like a lot of parks. This time of year, it's like 10 to 6, 11 to 7, that kind of thing. During the summer, they will be open a lot later. Christmas time, they often open later and close a lot later, so you can enjoy all the lights and the spectacle at night. But I've been here before when they'll open at like noon, but then they'll stay open till like 10 p.m. or something like that. So it will vary depending on the time of year.
And Tony is mad at me because I ruined his joke. I didn't get it until you started talking. He understands it's open 9 to 5.
Oh, I didn't even. I should have picked up that one. I'm sorry. I let down the punchline on that one.
Yes. So what are we looking at now?
I don't know. Let's see. I came over through Show Street. Let's see. I've looked over a lot of the major flower food festival. Is there something that somebody would specifically like to see?
I would just like to walk around the park. Now, have you tried much of the food yet?
I have not. Just got here today, but a lot of it looks really good. They have a spinach and artichoke dip and a lobster roll and a fish and chips and nachos with Korean style beef, which looks quite excellent. So
I know they're well known for
the Dollywood Express.
All right, let's see that. Does your son like that?
The Dollywood Express, for people who are used to typical theme park train experiences, is quite impressive. It's a much larger train. It's an actual coal-fired train. It's the real deal. It's authentic. It's basically a real train, just so happens to be inside of a theme park versus a typical model type train that you see.
Woo-hoo! I
really
know that
quite
sound.
Unusual attraction.
I hear that sound in my dreams. Woo-hoo!
Well, I hear it all around my house because my 4-year-old is obsessed with that train.
Yes.
So that's my life.
That's the version I hear too.
Yeah. Every road trip, it's like we're on the Dollywood Express.
So someone came in late, was just asking about the face covering rule. Could you just say that again?
Yeah, the face covering rule is if you're inside a building or if you're in a queue for a ride or if you cannot stay 6 feet apart, you are supposed to wear a mask.
So that's why a lot of the people you see walking around are not. They're not breaking any rules, but they are required in more sensitive areas.
Since they asked, here is the sign.
Yeah. Play safe with us.
Masks are required.
Oh, and not water rides.
When you're, I'm sorry?
I just said not water ride.
Yes.
We had
Not
another
on a water
question.
ride. Yes.
We had a question earlier. Hopefully, she's still here. Someone named Amy from Texas saying, "What are your favorite things to do here?"
My favorite things to do at Dollywood. Um, I love I love just the atmosphere. Honestly, it's like one of those things. It's kind of the sum is greater than the parts. Just I just love the vibe around here, and especially with all these musical acts to just walk around, enjoy the beautiful scenery. I mean, this park is gorgeous. You can just see. You don't even need a flower festival on top of this, but that just makes it even more grandiose because it literally is out in this beautiful area and changes throughout the seasons. But yeah, I love the atmosphere. Some of the rides are really spectacular. I mean, I love all of the roller coasters. They're all unique. They're all built by different designers. They all ride very differently. And so you can spend the whole day, do the whole complement of them, and it doesn't feel repetitive like it can in some theme parks when you ride all their roller coasters. So,
I would also add that I find the cast there to be great. That Southern hospitality is present, and I really enjoy that.
yeah, I agree. There is a relaxed professionalism that I really enjoy here. Everybody is very on their toes, very polite, very nice, but there's a little bit more of that you're kind of visiting somebody's house sort of feel, which I really appreciate.
And
You feel
Tony Betty's on a roll. He's now asking for the flower festival. Do they have steel magnolias?
I like that. That's good. Well,
Come on,
you'll
Tony,
notice
keep
that
them
it's the
coming.
Flower and Food Festival, which sounds a little bit like a combination of festivals at Epcot, but of course they wouldn't have a food and wine festival here because they do not serve wine inside Dollywood, so that wouldn't
There,
work.
there, there is no alcohol served inside Dollywood?
There is no alcohol served inside. And during festivals such as these, they'll actually come up with a lot of interesting non-alcoholic drinks. So if you were watching, you might have noticed some things that maybe look like margaritas or things like that. That's all non-alcoholic. So they'll do non-alcoholic mojitos and non-alcoholic, frescas and things like that.
Wow, I like this place even more now. That looks like a church on the right.
Yeah, that is. And you can see again the beautiful landscaping, this natural stream that goes through it. And this is actually another show venue. So they have concerts out here during this time of year. They have some inspirational artists and they do concerts out here as well. During Christmas time, they do a beautiful choir that comes out and sings a cappella and they give everybody candles and it's a very beautiful candlelight ceremony. Very intimate though, nothing like the one at Epcot. Just very, it almost feels like you're just kind of stumbling upon, some church's event or something. It's very beautiful.
Cool. So I've been here a few times. I still don't know how this park is laid out. I have no idea where we are right now.
We are in the back of the park. So I came through the Pioneer Village where they have a lot of arts and crafts. And this is now Eagle Mountain, which is the world's largest exhibit of non-releasable American bald eagles.
Oh, can we see any of them?
I'm sorry?
Are they visible at all? I'm just trying to see some
I'm
eagles.
looking for them. I don't see them at the present. There's some. They usually hang out in the upper corner of the exhibit, which I've been meaning to ask somebody why they tend to hang out up there when they've got lots of space. Although today it looks like they're a little more spread out. So I'm going to see if I can get it to where you can see them. Yeah, there's some up there in those trees. I don't know how well you can see them because they're kind of far away.
Yeah, we're focused on the net, unfortunately. Okay, we tried. They're there, though. Trust us.
Trust me, they are there. If you listen, you can hear them. It sounds like the Mark Twain riverboat. You hear that? Yeah.
I definitely hear that. Mark one.
Yeah, it sounds like that burning cabin sound effect, right? That's what it sounds like. So now you know, at least those sound effects are authentic.
Oh, Amy is asking your favorite food at Dollywood.
I have to go with the classic favorite and say the cinnamon bread. The cinnamon bread is great. My son came in today and we were like, "So are you hungry?" He's like, "Yes, I'm hungry for cinnamon bread." And he could probably eat a whole loaf by himself because he's got quite the sweet tooth. But cinnamon
so
bread
good.
is kind of like this park's Dole Whip.
But as much as I like Dole Whip, it's better. It's better.
All right, so now we're heading back towards Blazing Fury.
Blazing Fury,
past,
one of a kind.
Waterfall area.
Can you describe, when we get there, can you describe Blazing Fury?
Blazing Fury is really old historical attraction. It actually predates Dollywood. It was here before Dolly got involved with this park. And so it has a different vibe about it. It feels a lot more like a Silver Dollar City sort of attraction, which the same company owns both parks. It's just this park is also involved with Dolly Parton as well. And it's definitely an old school dark ride that's not built by Disney. So it is a little bit crude and simple, but it's a lot of fun. And I really like the ending, which has kind of a Mr. Toad sort of fake out with a train coming towards you and a fun little drop. It's not exactly a roller coaster. It does have a couple of drops in it. So they classify it as a roller coaster because it is a roller coaster ride system. But in terms of the ride feel, it's more like Pirates of the Caribbean or something like that.
It is a strange ride. I've been on nothing like it ever.
Yeah. It's one of those things that, again, it's a classic. It's been here a really long time. I really kind of hope they don't ever mess with it too much. Maybe update it like Knott's Berry Farm has with their dark rides, but it really is, especially from a historical standpoint. But I'm also a nerd about old theme park dark rides. So.
Yes, you are. We're having not the best connection right now, but it's workable. So
never resist the chance.
Is this Tennessee Tornado on the right?
All right, so we're headed towards Tennessee Tornado.
Yeah, wrote it.
It's your favorite, right?
No, but I'm proud that I wrote it and never have to write it again.
Yeah, Tennessee Tornado is quite intense. It's not a oh, I can just go on this cute little roller coaster sort of roller coaster. It's a real deal roller coaster, even though it's not long. It's very forceful. It's got a high amount of G-force. It is smooth though. It's not rough, but it is very intense. It packs quite a punch. And I find that the first drop is quite underrated for roller coasters.
I can't believe I wrote this.
As many, but I've been on quite a few, and I would say it ranks up there for a really great first drop.
Had I heard your description of it, I never would have gotten on because I do not do it right there that intense. But I just did it foolishly, and I'm, one time.
So here we have the big loop. And
you'll notice, it is big.
So it's out here in the wilderness, trees. So it's fun because it really does change with the seasons.
It is fun to have a park that is so affected by in an area that's so affected by the seasons and looks so different. I've only been there in the fall, and it looks very different now than it has when I've been there. Hopefully audio issues get a little improved. Can you hear me okay, Daniel? Apparently not. Mr. Bob Newell says that ride looks no bueno. No bueno. Yeah, I understand there. I think you're talking, Dan, but it's all ruffled. If you can hear me, do a thumbs up in front of your camera. Bummer. Usually we get good audio and bad video. Now we're getting decent video and bad audio. And then he's gone. I'm going to wait a second, see if he comes back. Hopefully he does, because up until just now, this was doing pretty well. So This is me. This is the guy on the other end. Hoping Daniel makes it back. I will just sit here and kill some time. We are again live from Dollywood from the Flower and Food Festival. I'm going to make sure Daniel knows we're going to wait from him. And the festival started just today. It runs through, I believe, June 7th at Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Shut up, Tony. Yeah, through June 7th, presented by Covenant Health. And Daniel is there exploring it right now. It is legit in the Smoky Mountains. So if you don't get a completely solid signal, you know why. Their park Wi-Fi isn't good enough to handle this. So we're using our cell signal, and the cell signal is good in a lot of places, not so great in other places. So I've messaged Daniel. I've let him know we're still here if he can try to come back on. And I will stay here for a moment. You get to look at my ugly face as I try to say something mildly interesting and wait for Daniel. See if he comes back. If you have any Dollywood questions, I've been there a few times. I might be able to answer them. Otherwise, we'll save them for Daniel if he gets back here. And again, all of this will be on Laughing Place later today. Daniel's there taking tons and tons of pictures. We'll have a full report from the Flower and Food Festival coming up shortly. I can't believe I am sitting here just talking to you guys about Dollywood, killing time, because this is just not the kind of thing that I do. As you all know, I hate to be on camera. I am not at all comfortable on camera. Oh, someone wants to see my Skyliner. Here we go. Here it is. Here you go, Donna. It's an ornament. There's for 2021. And there's the other side of it. This is my favorite attraction at Walt Disney World. The Skyliner. And does it open? Oh, it opens. Look at that. Woo. There you go. Anything else for me to show you? Got a Star Wars mask here, custom made by a friend of mine. Let's see, I'm wearing a collar, as Tony noticed. Can't believe there are still people on this stream. Do more regional parks, Mr. Bob Newell says. I hope we do, actually. We were live from, I guess, Six Flags Magic Mountain. Is that really regional? It's not the main park here. So we did that when it reopened. We did Discovery Island. I hope we do... the one a little bit south of San Francisco. I can't think of the name right now, but I hope we do that one when it reopens. I think next month. Help me out, Tony. What's the name of the other park? Not Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, but the one down south a little bit. We did Santa Cruz Boardwalk. So Great America, thank you. Great America opens in May, and I'm really hoping we do that. That is our favorite park in this Northern California area. So I'm looking forward to going back there. Thank you, Donna. My son loves going there, so looking forward to that. We hopefully do some streaming from there. We did the Santa Cruz Boardwalk. We did Magic Mountain, as they say. We did Universal Studios. Oh, just got a message. All right, communicating with Daniel. Okay. All right, I'm communicating with Daniel. Trying to get him to come back on. He lost his connection. Trying to see if he has it back and if he can come back on, letting him know we still have the stream going, so he's welcome to rejoin us. In the meantime, I'll talk to you because it's fun. So yeah, no, he can't. Okay. So Daniel's not able to come back on, so it's just me. Poor Daniel. He's probably been taking all this, yeah, talking all this time. No, I think he knows he lost it. All right, so a reminder, we will, if you do like looking at my face, first of all, see a psychiatrist. Second of all, I will be live tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time as we do, Tony is so funny, as we do Disney Trivia Live. My son and I will be doing Disney Trivia Live tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, having a good old time playing Disney Trivia with you as we approach our 100th show. I believe tomorrow is 96, I think. So 100's not that far away. And Tony Betty continuing with all the Dolly Parton puns, having a really good time with those. So 9:30 p.m. Texas time. That's right. Thanks everyone for joining us for the stream. Sorry we couldn't get back to it. I hope you enjoyed what we did have. And again, we will have so much on Laughing Place later today. We also have a bunch of stuff on our Twitter already. So go check those out for some really high quality pictures of the beautiful Flower and Food Festival at Dollywood running through June 7th. Bye, everybody.